Hey everyone, I thought I'd do a bit of a review on the Nukeproof Scout. I know I done one about 3 months ago, that was like my first impressions of the bike, but I thought I'd give you another one. Now I've been on it 3 months, getting used to it. Talk about the things I like on it and the things I don't. So yeah, so I mean this is just my opinion as well. I mean I'm pretty much a beginner when it comes to mountain biking. So I probably got my first mountain bike about 15 years ago, to be fair. I got a Norco Faze 3, and at the time that was a nice bike, a full suspension bike, cost just over £1,000 I think. But I didn't hit any trails. I literally used it to commute on. I didn't know about bikes back then. And then it wasn't until last year I got my Vitus Mythique VRX. That I started taking it a bit more seriously. Started going on the trails, fell in love with it, absolutely loved it, man. Especially down Watchwood, my local trails, and it showed me what mountain biking can be. I loved that bike, I really did, but that got stolen. And then I was in a bit of a predicament. Obviously COVID's been going off and whatnot. Bike sales and bike parts have been absolutely crazy, like difficult to get hold of. Yeah, I had an insurance claim come through on the house insurance, luckily, for the Vitus. And I was in 2 minds. Do I hold out for a full suspension or do I hold out for the hardtail? And I think it was a Ragley that came up. And I was umming or ahhing, started doing loads of research on aggressive hardtails and all that. And then by the time I made up my mind, that had sold. It's just mad. They were selling like within an hour. So then I set my mind on a hardtail. I put like a list of ones I was willing to take, and then every hour refreshing this website until one came up, and the Scout turned up. The Scout turned up, and as soon as it did, I was on the phone. I was like, yeah, get this down for me. I ordered it, and that's it. That's where I am now. I've got this. So I've had it 3 months now. Yo, let's start off with a bit of a bike check. So all the different parts on the bike really. So let's talk first. We've got the suspension. We've got this Marzocchi Z2 bomber, which is awesome. 140mm travel on aggressive hardtail. It's bang on. I mean, you might be able to go up another 10mm on it, but I don't even think you need to. It's absolutely amazing. And what I like about the Z2 is it's simple. You have rebound down here, you have your air, and then you have your compression, and that's it. There's no high speed compression, there's no low speed compression. Really easy to set up, and for beginners, that just makes life so much simpler. You just got a couple of knobs to play with, and you get a feel for what you want. Maybe for your more advanced riders, maybe they'll want a bit more control. People who know what they're doing with all them little settings and that. I suppose it depends what you want out of your suspension and your forks and whatnot. Like, do you want to just be able to pick it up and ride? Do you want to fine tune it so it's absolutely perfect? That's your choice. I mean, for me, this is bang on. Them forks are bang on. I had the same on my Vitus Mythique VRX, the same forks, so I'm very happy that this year's Scout came with these forks, because it just makes things so much easier for me. The next are the brakes. Now these are M6 120 Shimano Dior brakes, 4-pot. On the Mythique and other bikes they've all been 2-pot. And when my friends went on my bikes, they always said, oh, you need to upgrade the brakes. And I never believed them. I always thought my brakes were bang on. They would stop me on a dime. I thought they were awesome. And then I got these. I got these 4-pot brakes. And it was just a world of difference. Like, I couldn't imagine not having 4-pot brakes anymore. Like, you can, what is it, modernization? where you can like it's not just an on or off. You can really moderate the amount of pressure. Like as you're pulling in, it's like it don't just catch. It just gradually gets tighter and tighter and tighter until you feel it. You're not gonna realise. So these brakes, can't fault them. Bang on, Shimano DR. Drivetrain is the Shimano DR M6 100 on there. Again, absolutely bang on. Because there's no rear suspension as well, like them shifts are instant, man. They really are. Like, it's just so crisp. I've not even really played with it either, you know, since I've got it. So it's not come out of line or anything. I haven't had to retune them gears. I did have a chain snap. I've just added a quick link to the chain and that's been sound though. But I haven't had to play with them gears. I haven't had to adjust anything. And yeah, it's instant, man. I can't fault them. I love the shifters as well on it. Like, you can go either way on this top one. Push it in or pull it out to go up. So it's versatile. That's how you want to use it, which is lovely. Also, yeah, like the brakes and the shifters are integrated together, so it's less clutter on your handlebar. So it's your brake wraps around the handlebar, and then your shifter just clips on to your brake. Makes it look really clean, really nice. Yeah. So if we then talk about the tyres, we got the Maxxis 27.5 2.6 tyres on the Scout, and I can't fault these. Like, you know, the 2.6 on these rims, like, which I think they're 35mm, so they're quite wide, means you can run low PSI, and yeah, I can't fault them. They're grippy, they're lovely to ride. I'm going to talk a bit more about PSI later on here and what I found, and only recently as well, and I'll go into more detail on that. But I think when these tyres do run down, I will be getting the same ones. I'm pretty sure on that. So then we'll move on to the drop post, which is the Brand X. That's the same as what I had on the Vitus. Can't fault it. It does its job. It goes up, it goes down. Sound. And then the saddle, which is still, I've just left as standard, which is the Nukeproof Neutron. For me, I haven't had any issues with that. It just fits me perfectly. Obviously, when it comes to saddles, everyone is different. You have different seat bone widths and whatnot. So just because I like it, I find it comfortable, it's fine for me. The next person who buys it might hate it. The seat bones might be a bit wider, it might not be wide enough for them, so they might have to invest in a new saddle. But for me, perfect, bang on. So next, let's talk about the sizing of the bike. So I'm 6'2", and this is a large Nukeproof Scout. Looking at the sizing charts, I fell smack bang in the middle from a large to an XL. And on my Vitus, I was an XL, which had a really long reach. I think it was near on 600 reach. Whereas this for a large, what is it 560, somewhere around there? It was a lot smaller. And I think if I had the option at the time to go large or XL, I'd have probably gone XL. I'm not saying the bike's too small for me, it's just that on my Vitus I got used to that bigger bike. Yeah, the large was the only one that was available. Again, current climate, I didn't want to miss out and have to wait and then not get one. I'm still seeing posts now where people have been waiting months trying to get older bikes, and I didn't want to miss out on that. So let's move on to the looks of the bike. Now, I think the style, the aggressiveness, everything about the bike is stunning. It's beautiful. I'm just not a fan of the colour. I think there need to be a bit more daring on these colours. So I think, is it the race model this year? It's just a light blue. I don't really like that. The comp is this concrete grey, and then the Pro is the brushed alloy, which I do like. It kind of makes it look like a steel bike, and I did like that. But I don't know. I want bright colours. I want it to pop. I want like purple or orange or nice greens and things like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. The finish on it is really nice. Because do you know what? That's one thing with the Vitus. The Vitus was this concrete grey colour as well, but it chipped so easily. The paint just chipped off, and I had issues with it. And you know what? I don't think I've noticed a chip on this yet. I don't think I've had any issues like that. So the quality is bang on. The next thing I like about this, which a lot of bikes don't do anymore, is the fact that the brake and the shifter is external. And it maybe not look as clean, but it makes the maintenance of the bike so much easier. I mean, changing any cables around or anything, I haven't done it yet, but just changing the cables is just easy. They're external, you don't have to mess about feeding anything down. The only one what is internal is this dropper, but you shouldn't have to change that too often anyway. So, I mean, it looks quite nice and easy. It comes out the bottom here and then wraps around your bottom bracket and goes back in behind the back of the seat tube around here. I should clean my bike before I did this, just got oil on me. So, another thing with internal cables, which I've noticed on my missus's bike, is where they're going in. And then when you're going over stuff, you hear it slapping inside. And it took me ages, as I was trying that GT Zaska, which is also a nice bike by the way. But I kept hearing it knocking, and I was like, what is that? And I was looking all over, like looking at the forks as I was riding, and I was like, what is that banging? And then I just started listening, you can hear it internally, banging against the down tube, the tubes. And yeah, I don't like that, I'm not a fan. So external cable routing for the win, makes it easy, man. And that, you know what, that's what a hardtail is all about. It's about less maintenance for me. So I don't have to be messing about with any linkages or anything like that. Because I'm trying to maintain my own bike. I don't want to be taking it to the shop and booking it in and having someone else. I'm trying to do it myself. I ain't got all the tools yet, but as and when things need replacing, I'm going to purchase them tools and give it a go. So yeah, man, learn as you go along. That's cool. The feel of the bike. This is something I was quite scared of, jumping from a full suspension to a hardtail. I kept thinking to myself, am I going to be able to do what I used to be able to do? Can a hardtail go down the trails I want to go down? Is it dated? And I watched so many videos on this. And then I think it was like GMBN did the Scout actually down on the Mega Avalanche, and I was like, shit, the bike isn't the problem. The problem's the rider and the rider skill. So one thing with the hardtail, it's going to be less forgiving. If you do a jump, if you drop off somewhere and it's a bit wrong, you ain't got that suspension there to save you. Your suspension's your legs. So I suppose you're more likely to come off on a hardtail if you mess up where, yeah, it's a full suspension, you're not going to so much. I mean, saying that, the other day I was up in Greno Woods, flying down the pub run, and it was bumpy as hell. And I was questioning it. I was like, shit, maybe like this trail isn't even that aggressive. Like on the GoPro, you don't see much of it. There's just lots of rocks and bumps and whatnot. And I was being shaken all over the place. And it wasn't until I got home that I realised potentially I was running too high PSI. So these were on 19 PSI, which for a lot of people sounds really low anyway. But because they're 2.6 tyres and they're on 35mm rims, I just think that was too high. Like my tyres were still pretty hard. And then I went to my local trails after that and dropped it to 16 PSI front and rear. And although they're nowhere near as bumpy as like Greno, I could feel it going over the roots and that. It was still it was absorbing it. It was taking it in. And look, I still, like, this is 16 PSI now. Like, that's still pretty solid. Like, I'm only getting a bit of squeeze on the side. Because I am running at 16 front and back, I think, like, they're tubeless. I think I am going to get some inserts in there, you know. So, is it the Victoria inserts, them big green foamy things? I think I'm going to purchase some of them and give that a go. I don't think I'm going to go for the Cush Core, because that shit's expensive. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go for this Victoria inserts, them green fluffy ones, and see what that's like. So that's cool. As for that though, the rest of it, I can't fault the bike, you know. I love jumping on it. You ain't got that rear suspension, which is absorbing all them jumps anymore. Like, it's just instant. Like, when you go to preload and you're going up, you don't have to squash it, so it's not gonna pop you off. It's not gonna like buck you over the jump or anything like that. Obviously, with it being a hardtail, like them braking bumps, so you're still gonna feel them. It's still gonna shake you about a bit, but I love it. I really do. I love riding her. I don't have any regrets going to the hardtail. I have no plans of moving to the full suspension again. I mean, one thing with the full suspension, it's like, I was massively overbiked on it. You get to the bottom of the trails, yeah, it's good, but the trails that I ride in, it probably makes it a bit too smooth, a bit too easy. Whereas on this hardtail, it's just awesome. It's bang on. It's wicked. I come off with a smile on my face all the time, even though it's a bit rougher and it's a bit slower than the full suspension. Like, hardtails in general, they just are. Like, you get a professional rider riding a full suspension and riding a hardtail, the full suspension is going to be quicker. So if you're into Strava and doing timed runs, maybe the hardtail ain't for you. But for me, it's like that free ride, just having fun, putting a smile on my face. So I love this bike. The only thing I might change on it is the frame size. I don't know yet. I might wait till next year, see what frames come out, and see if I just buy an XL frame. I'd love to try one before I do that though. And then if so, I'll just sell off this frame. But yeah, I'd love to try an XL just to see if I feel a massive difference in it or not. Yeah, as for the channel though, I massively appreciate your support and the followers and the subscribers and whatnot, and the likes on the videos, man. It's appreciated. I've only been doing this a couple of months. I think I've just hit 117 subscribers, which I'm chuffed with. The fact that anyone wants to watch what I'm doing on a bike, it's absolutely amazing. In disbelief with it, to be honest. But I appreciate it, and I'm going to stick with it, and it'll join me along for my progression as I'm getting better on the bikes. I'm planning on going Leeds Urban Bike Park again in the next weekend. I think this Monday I'm going Style Cup, so near Cannock Chase. Can't wait for that. Things are just going to keep getting better. I'm going to keep getting better or hurt myself, one or the other. Either way, it'll make good footage. Yeah man, so don't forget to drop a subscribe on the channel. It gives me a little boost, it makes me feel happy, and makes me go out there and make more videos. It's good to see it growing, and massively appreciate it. So yeah man, thanks for watching. Drop a like on the video if you like, well obviously only if you like it. So peace.